right, good morning, Round Hill. I'm Mayor Scott Ramsey, the town of Round Hill, and it's my pleasure to introduce the ceremonies for the grand reopening of our community garden. I'm so proud of the groups that have put this together and all the volunteers, and so I'm going to first hand things off to Kathy Hottinger, who is part of the Round Hill Outdoors Committee. They're a volunteer organization that it's just people who want to see Round Hill get outdoors. And this was something that was really their brainchild. They pushed all the energy into it. They gathered the previous volunteers from the Round Hill Community Garden together to help them get this thing re-kicked off the ground. And so here's Kathy.
Hi, my name is Kathy Hottinger. As Mayor Ramsey said, I am a member of the Round Hill Outdoors Committee, which is a volunteer committee. First, I'd like to start off with a little bit of history about community gardens. Community gardens have been in the American cities since 1890, with the first gardens appearing in Detroit. During the Great War, the government promoted community gardens to supplement and expand food supply. In 1930, during the Great Depression, community gardens provided a means for the unemployed to grow their own food, and more than 23 million households growing their own produce, valued over $36 million. Just participating in a garden program. In 1940, the Victory Garden campaign during World War II encouraged people to grow their own food for personal consumption, recreation, and to improve morale. So what is a community garden? Well, a community garden is a place to grow food, flowers, herbs, in the company of friends and neighbors. A community garden is a place to reconnect with nature. Community gardening helps revitalize the sense of community among neighbors. And now I would like Mr. Tony Delro, who was formerly with us in the first Round Hill Community Garden, and Ashley Johnson, who is with me now in the reopening of the community garden, to release our sign. Up with bringing a wonderful Round Hill Community Garden together through gardening and fellowship, and a big thanks to our volunteers. Volunteers, if I say your name, please feel free to come up and stand with us so you can be recognized from the community. Okay, starting at the very beginning with helping, planning, and getting us started is Tony Delro, who was part of the first Round Hill Community Garden, and our master gardeners, Norma Lee Martin and Lori Greenman. Thank you for all your guidance. Karen Mercendi, a real estate agent who volunteered her time to create our Facebook page and finding volunteers to help us at the garden. Thank you. Then our first weed pulling day back on September 19th. We have many names, and if I missed anybody who wasn't there that day, I apologize. Angie Hofstoff, Ashley Johnson, Rebecca Tyler, and the Vargas family, her Girl Scout in Troop 6878, Tori Vargas, Cub Scout Pack 961, Xavier and Bonnie Vargas, Branson Stroop, Maddie and Aiden Daffron, Boy Scout Troop 961, Tom and Charlie Hughes, members of the Round Hill Outdoors Committee, Jody and Bill Brady and the Hottinger family, and all else who helped us, thank you. Next, we had a October 17th Community Garden Cleanup Day. A special thanks to the two Cub Scouts in Pack 961 was Xavier Vargas and Branson Stroop. These two 5th grade boys from Round Hill Elementary School, they loaded a 12 by 12 tarp and a 5-foot high of weeds all out of the garden out here, and then they bagged 8 bags of trash. Thank you. Next, we have Tim Tabor with T2 Builders, who volunteered to rototill the garden and remove the tree trunks that were stuck in the fencing. Thank you. And Troop 961, led by Scout Ryan Stetter. Ryan Stetter planned, organized, and raised funds to have 2 6-foot wide garden gates installed, which one is behind me now, repair all the fencing around the entire garden, pull the remaining weeds around the fence, mulch the pathways, and organize and clean out the existing shed to earn his Eagle Award. Thank you to Ryan and his great organization skills to get the job done in one long 10-hour day. Thank you. And I also want to thank Lori and Dan, I forgot how to say it, Lewandowski in Percival, Virginia, for donating blocks of bricks to the garden. Thank you. And last but not least, thank you to Mark Pancall in Sterling, Virginia, for donating 3 rain barrels to our garden. His son Eric and his family live here in Round Hill. Thank you so much. With all these volunteers, we could not have the re-grand opening of the Round Hill Community Garden. Thank you, everybody. And now I'd like to introduce Tony Delro, who has some words to say.
Well, good morning again. I was very honored and grateful to have a chance to make a few remarks to you. Back in 2009, the then mayor of Round Hill drove the first post in the corner there as part of the ceremony, but we're not asking you to do much labor today. But 2009, if you remember, was kind of a time in our community and our country that we were going through a recession, a pullback. And I think the word community and community garden is very apropos, as Kathy was speaking, that it drew a way to draw people together to grow something, to sustain or to supplement what they were going through, layoffs at the time. There were cutbacks, the housing market, the bubble pop. It was a way to give hope and to grow something and to be a part of something. And this impacted my family directly, as I was laid off at the time when I started with this group as just a side member of the group. And through the years, I'd like to thank the town for helping to keep those embers alive for the community garden and the vision of what there was for at that time till today. And to Kathy and the group that today is bringing this back to life and rejuvenating it in a way. And I think the threads that tie the past to the future are so appropriate today as our country is emerging from another time of struggle, and this gives the community a way to come together in a way that they can provide for their families or to teach their families something that they can take on with them into the future. It's also very appropriate in this very spot where we stand that we're continuing to grow things, where that house stands right over there across the street, and there's the foundations of another barn. There were 2 barns there. There's a dairy barn here. So, and the people that work that farm lived right in that house at the end of the street there, and their daughter took care of the milking every day up to 6 months pregnant. So there's been a strong tie to the community and agriculture and farming and sustaining family and all of that just in this spot where we stand today. So it's amazing how things change and stay the same, from dairy barns to data centers in Loudoun County. But I'm very appreciative of what the garden has impacted me in my life and the way that I can give back to the community, the scouting organizations, the other community organizations that have taken part over the years. It's just a way for people to come together for a common cause, and I'm all for it. So I thank you for inviting me and having me to be a part. It's been my pleasure, and I'm grateful for the town and everyone who's helped sustain this over the years. Thank you very much.
And now Ashley Johnson has a few words.
Hi, I'm Ashley Johnson. I've been a lifelong grower and gardener. I am the daughter and granddaughter of gardeners and farmers, and I just love being able to continue that legacy. I grew up in Southwest Virginia, the other end of the state, and we've been proud Round Hill residents for about a year and a half now. And in recent years, as I've spent time learning more about what I'm growing, can those plants be beautiful in our yard and there for me to enjoy, but also how does what I'm planting and growing, how can that benefit the environment? And the community garden, it has so many benefits environmentally. Anywhere you can reduce turf grass and grow something in its place, that's a good thing. So I encourage you all to look into that and think about how you can grow more things in your own yard that are more beneficial to our environment, to our local animals and insects. But I think the true key to this space is, as Tony said, the community portion of it. It's incredible in a time where front porches are becoming obsolete. We're now spending all our time in our backyard with privacy fences up and screens and barriers to kind of block us in. I think community is more important than ever, especially after the year we've had now with COVID. So many of us were back home and realized how important our neighbors are and vital to our well-being as well. So I think that is what I've seen so far in this space, pulling the weeds and working so hard with people that you live very, very close to that I had never seen before in our year and a half of being here. So it's been incredible to see families working together, kids learning about growing and gardening right alongside their parents. So I think that's the magic here. That is what is going to make this space truly amazing, is the community aspect of it. And I'm just proud and honored to be a part of it.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask Ashley and Tony and Ryan to help Kathy and I cut the ribbon. So we're going to see how many hands we can throw these scissors.
Sorry. I wanted
All right, so everybody reach in, don't be shy. All right. All right, we ready?
Wait, I get it? Wait, come this way.
We're going to do a better angle. All right, let me put this line up so it'll go easier. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Can you guys stand together?
Yep, so now we're going to take one more photo shoot.
to.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.